hi when I hit the button. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
This is Flippin Bunch, and if you've never been to one of our Wednesday night get-togethers that last for about an hour, what the Flippin Bunch is, it's a group of flippers. There's about 7 of us ladies that participate in this group, and we all love flipping and small. And it can be anything from a piece of furniture to some smalls. A lot of us have booths, but we are all about everything with new products and new techniques. And we are women that like to share these with other flippers, and that's what we're all about. I'll quickly go through and just introduce myself, and we'll go around robin. And what I'm looking at is Crystal next to me. Down below Crystal is Mara, and next to Mara is LaVon. My name is I am Dar from DIYs by Dar. I'm a brand ambassador for Made by Marley. I do have an Etsy store and a couple other stores that don't have anything in it. I have a booth in my local area, and I've been doing furniture flipping and furniture art for the last 4 years. That's it.
Hey everybody, I am Crystal, the Crafty Creech, DIYs and furniture flips. I am a lover of all things creative. I love crafting. I love upcycling. I love thrift flipping. I love furniture flipping most of all. That is my favorite. I love doing that all the time. I more recently, within probably the past 4, 5, 6 years or so, started transforming my work into more of like art pieces. And that's what I really love and enjoy to do. But I'm also a reseller, and I just opened up an Etsy or eBay shop, you guys. I'm selling on eBay.
That's exciting.
So yeah, I just did that a couple of days ago. Only got like 24 listings, but hey,
nice.
It's okay. We'll see how this goes, right? So yeah, I'm a buyer and a seller. I love all that good stuff. I love old things. I'm a history buff, all that stuff. On you, Mara, down there.
Well, first of all, I gotta say I love Crystal. She's so upbeat today, so hopefully I can match that tempo. So I'm Mara. I'm from Borderline Furniture. I love all things in the state of broken or ugly because I like to see how I can transform it from ugly duckling to amazing and functional. So hence the name Borderline. It's either trash or it's treasure. And I do this part-time. I have a full-time job, but this is my part-time, and I just absolutely love it. It's so much fun, and it's just a nice break from the 9 to 5. So I'm going to turn this over to LaVon.
Okay. I'm LaVon from Statement Designs, and I've had a design business for over 10 years, and I had a had a shop that I closed recently. And so instead of doing that now, I do custom work, which I've done for a long time, and I still do design work. I do color consulting for a paint cabinet painting company, and I'm a brand ambassador for Made by Marley as well. I have the 2 YouTube channels besides this one that I share with my Flippin' sisters. But I have Statement Designs, and that's where I do furniture. And I have Tuesday Talk, where I do smalls. And I have a website where I sell my wares, which is statementdesigns.org. That's it.
Well, that's who we have on board tonight for our group. And what we're going to go over tonight is basically the 4 pieces that we had in the AI challenge. And then when we get through that, it shouldn't take us too long. We're going to hit a little special video that Mara has gone out. She has someone that she knows that does river pours for like tables. So we'll get into that. So a couple interesting things going on tonight. And we'll start right off. And let me get to my media assets. And if you guys, people out there, say anything to me, and I don't answer, it's because I have the media thing up and I can't see your comments, but somebody else will catch them for you. And the challenge that we were talking about was this one right here. And that was just this last Saturday, and we were to use some form of AI in creating something romantic. Well, I kind of failed on the something romantic. And this was a piece that I guess I just kind of added in there. So we'll get into the very first one, which is crystals. And I wanted everybody to send me a picture of what their piece looked like when they started.
Yes, this is my before. This was one of the very first pieces I ever redid when 14-ish years ago. And you know, that rustic, shabby look was really the in thing, the big thing at that time. So I went with that, and this was all latex paint, and this is something I've been using in my house with my 4 kids for 14 years. So it's really held up well. Even being, latex paint. And like I said, it was one of my first pieces I ever did. So, my skill level wasn't top notch yet, but, yeah, so I was, happy that, the paint was all intact. So when I went to refinish it, I was kind of playing around with the idea whether I was going to remove that paint and start over. But, when all said and done was I left that paint on there, and I did like a layered paint effect. So this is the after. I used some redesign with Prima fiber paper. I think it was called Timeless Blooms. I made my own stencil because I ordered Harlequin stencils from Amazon, but we had a gigantic snowstorm or some crazy weather that week. So my stencil never came or didn't come in time. So I said, heck with this. I'm just going to make my own stencil. I know how to do it. So that's what I did. And then I made my own Harlequin stencils. It was a little bit of extra work, but yeah.
So you have the Harlequin stencils all across the top and down the sides in a somewhat muted fashion.
Yeah, I did it I wanted it kind of, look like it was worn off in spots. So that's kind of the look I was going for.
And this paper that you said that you had used it before with, was it Mod Podge, and it did wrinkle a bit, but the second time around you used something else?
The first time I used, I think it was called clear transparent gel. I don't think it was Mod Podge. I'd have to go back and look at the video. I don't remember exactly what I used, but the paper wouldn't stick. I was having a very hard time getting the paper to stick. So I think it was Mara that recommended the wallpaper paste. So I went with that this time, and it was awesome. I loved it. The paper feels like fabric. So it has that kind of texture, like fabric does. It doesn't feel like the paper. And I just absolutely love it. If you work it a little bit too much, so you will get those fibers that will kind of start to like pill up and fray. So when I use this again, because I will be using it again, I just got to make sure I'm not overworking that paper too much, because it will start to pill up and kind of not really fray. Like when you wash your clothes and you get those little bally things on your clothes. Yeah, kind of like that.
So I wanted to piggyback off on your use of the wallpaper paste. I want to first applaud you because I think it really does a good job. But there's 2 different wallpaper pastes, and I didn't find that out until I bought one, bought another, and it looks like it comes in the same can, but there's like a 880 version, which you have the 800, and I think I use the 543 or 534 or something to that effect. And that one is more like a cream. And if you've noticed, the one that you use is more like a cellulose, like a almost like that paste you had when you were a kid in school.
Yes.
If it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it, cellulosey, but
Yes.
so
I know what you mean because I used it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the other one that it was in like the last the bench video that I did. That one was the 543. It's super creamy. It just goes on. I can't describe it. It's I don't know, like soft spread butter. I don't know, but it's not that
Okay.
thick. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe like frosting or something sort of similar.
Yeah, it's not cellulose. That's all. It's just real creamy.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Mhm.
So I think this is a AI created background that you had completed.
Yes.
That's
This
beautiful.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the staging. This was Copilot. So I had 3 different images generated with Copilot for my background staging. Like I feel like this is just gonna like up my game here. I've been putting all my stuff in Copilot and generating a background and staging it in Copilot because I love it. I asked it to do different angles and this is what I got. So, I just wanted a different angle and, I had a hard time getting it in the same room. Like it changed the room every single time, but that's okay. And then this one, I just asked it to add like flowers. It looks a little bit more like a funeral home to me, but I was like, it's all right. It's still
a little overboard on the flowers.
Yeah, I was like, it's so pretty. I don't care. Yeah.
What kind of top coat did you put on that?
I just lightly. I think I just used my my Varathane triple thick. I just put a little bit on a sponge and just kind of lightly brushed over it. I didn't want again because I was already had it overworked it, so it was starting to pill up and everything. So I just very lightly used my my Varathane triple thick, but I did put the wallpaper paste over top of it lightly too. So it was, I think it is enough. It's not coming off anytime soon. I mean.
So for Crystals, we are going to give her a coming up is Lavon, and this was the piece that she had started with.
My corner cupboard. So that was obviously the before. And that was a roadside find. My son delivers Amazon, and he messaged me and sent me a picture, and he, told me where it was. And I went in the van and I just got it. It was easy to load, actually.
You loaded it by yourself?
I did.
Oh my.
It was a dry thing too, and I almost got that, but I just kind of I held back. So I when I finally got my pictures in, this was my favorite of all the choices that they gave. But obviously, so you saw the picture. It was a corner cabinet. This one isn't a corner cabinet, and there also wasn't a pediment on top. And they added extra panes in the windows. I mean, they made it super wide. So, just so you know, AI isn't always going to give you exactly what you're looking for.
Yep.
But that was my favorite that I was going to.
Seen Lavon's video yet? You need to see this piece on how she did the inside because it's just fabulous. You did all paint inlays in that, did you not?
Mm-hmm. I did use paint inlays. I blended
It's phenomenal.
and used inlays.
It's such a light, airy, maximalist beauty.
Thank you.
So
You have the video or the, oh, okay. So that was
oh
the
yeah, I gotta go
stage.
back.
Love
When we
that.
get done here, I gotta go back and do see I
So a
didn't bring
note
the
on that, every time that I asked them to do something else, it lightened it. So it kept getting lighter and lighter. So the cabinet is a little bit darker pink than that. But I mean, I asked that they had a chair in front of the cabinet and you couldn't see the cabinet. So I had them remove a chair. And then I said, I asked for a chandelier. And then I asked for the china, in the cabinet. And they did a great job placing that. I couldn't have been happier with that. I said white dishes and clear glasses. And the picture on the wall was behind the chandelier and there was nothing on the other side, so I asked them to move that and they did, but every time they did it, it got lighter and lighter, more yellowy. So that's one of the things.
this one came out darker. How did you manage that one?
Well, that one so I struggled at first, and I finally had the picture pulled up in my files. Gretchen's ultimate compliment from Dara, beautiful maximalist piece. I should take that as a sincere, deep compliment coming from the maximalist herself. Um,
Thank you.
But anyway, I opened the file and then I used the Copilot icon that was on my picture. So that was the easiest way that I was able to get the picture in there and get
So
some
you use
action.
Copilot.
Yeah. Did you have that little video? I shortened. I sent you
Yeah,
two videos.
I'm gonna throw crystals up there first because I forgot to do it.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, I forgot it because it was out of sight, out of mind. This
Yeah,
was Crystal's
That's all right.
little video, and I'm thinking that maybe she can talk while it's playing, and then we'll get Levon's video.
hopefully, yeah. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this is kind of a scary technique. This is the second time I used it. And I mean, it looks bad. Like, you know what I mean? It looks bad when you're doing it. But once those, you get the second color on there and the colors start blending together, it starts looking better. See, you can see right there, they're starting to blend. It's looking like a nice soft cloud. But then it gets
It is
scary.
pretty, but I can see where you're scared at first.
It gets scary again here.
Yep.
It's like, oh, what is going on with this? This is a hot mess. So,
Trust that process.
yes, that's to trust the process. But what I think ties it all together is that paint wash. And if you guys have ever worked with DIY paint before, it's different because when it dries, it changes colors. And then it changes the colors again when you seal it. So it's like you're kind of like, all right, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So but it turned out nice. I like it. You can see all when you look at it, you can see all these different depths of colors, and I really love doing this blending effect, even when you do it with just paintbrushes. But with the roller, it's fun because you can just get crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. That looks like fun.
It is.
So I'm going to put Levon's video up here next, and then she can kind of. Well, All right, are we back on live yet? Or are we still muted?
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
We're
Yeah,
good now.
I can hear
okay.
For
I
some
can see Levon going on, but I couldn't hear her.
Oh,
reason, muted, and there's no way to untick it from here.
Yeah.
okay. Well, all I was saying was I just wanted to show how the image was coming out. And it takes a few minutes, but I had a hard time getting it that way. That was like from the upper right corner, the chat GPT or chat, I'm sorry, Copilot. That, but I found it was much easier to start from the image and hit that icon. So, but then the other video I have is when I hit the bottom of the screen, and this one should have sound. And I just sent it because I like the way he said my name.
You sent me another video and I didn't get it. I didn't get it in time to see it. To put it up.
Okay.
That's probably what happened. Oh no. Well, we're going to give Levon the.
Is that like the Gong Show?
Gong.
Yeah. Yeah, did you gong me?
All right,
That's
so
so nice.
it's me. And there was this piano which has a story. It's from the 60s. I thought it was my husband's. I pulled it out of the dumpster, but it was really my sister-in-law's. And she would like it back after she saw it, which is fine.
Oh, I bet.
What they used to do when they were kids is they shared like a little bedroom. They were building a house up on top of this basement, and they would run and they'd plink on the piano, and then they'd run and dive into their bed. Dad would come with a strap and kind of like, just tap it on them like, you go to bed. So that was the big game we used to always play. So this is what I ended up with, and a lot of you guys have seen this, and this is a combination of chalk paints and watercolor paints and made by Marley decoupage paper. And this decoupage paper was almost like just a cartoon. There was no color in it, but I wanted to have some color in it. So both characters have been painted with watercolors. And I want to tell you that works really great on Made by Marley decoupage paper because the fiber is in such a way that you really don't have to use a lot of water or paint on it, and then you can get them colors. So that worked out pretty cool. And then of course we got the Harlequin, and I think I ordered the same ones that you did, Crystal. But I got mine in time, and I've had them for a while. Did you finally get them or not?
I did. The next day.
So here's the top of this piano. These keys about drove me to drink, but I had to use the wanna key to make we're all mad here on that top portion because the decoupage paper wouldn't fit. So that was all right. And as I went around the side, I kind of followed with the decoupage paper and the Harlequins on both sides and went around the back. And I opened this up in the back so the front and the back could be a bookshelf because I did put this on some big casting rollers. And it rolls really fantastic. It's really nice, so you can roll it around. And then there's a little bit better picture of the back, which I followed the same recipe with the watercolors. Down on the bottom, though, I did use some stencils for the teacups and some screen stencils for them little roses there in the bottom. And then now I had a bit of trouble with this piece of decoupage paper. I put too much paste on it, and then I was trying to get it all out. Of course, it left a lot of wrinkles. So what I had, I'm getting feedback. Somebody got something else on where we're getting feedback?
No, nothing here.
Maybe
Nope.
it's me. I don't know. But anyway, I turned the into part of the actual folds in the linen or the background in the behind the scene, and I just used the acrylic pen marker and made my black lines go to get all those wrinkles to kind of not really be that noticeable. And then what did I do there, you guys? This
Put
is
a light.
show.
That's awesome. It looks
We
so
had
good.
a light on there on the front and on the back. So you can
Wow.
see now I did
Super
work with Chat GPT on this. And one thing that they won't do, I think we mentioned it before, is they're not going to take something like Taylor Swift, Alice in Wonderland, something that may be a copyrighted material and do anything with it. But what I did get them to do was I gave them my finished picture of my front piece, and I asked them what, and when I sent it to them, well, they were giving me all kinds of compliments. I thought, oh, I kind of like this program. I asked them, what would you do differently to make this really an outstanding picture? So they did do it with that one, and what they sent me was this.
Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous.
It is. And I thought about, holy moly, that'd take me about a month just to paint all that in. But
Wow.
mainly, you know, what they had said was I needed something to be a main focus, which would have been the clock with everything kind of swirling around it. And I think their pointers were really, really good. And I love this, but I don't think I would have had time or patience to go ahead and do something like this unless it was like on a big canvas or a painting or something. But that's kind of how that went. And let's see, I think I've got a small clip. And I asked you guys, said, at what point you just really wanted to throw the towel in or you thought it looked really bad? Well, this was my point, and I don't know if I can talk during it, but it's only 18 seconds, so we'll see. And I'll talk about it later if I can't talk. Yeah, I thought I had it figured out. I couldn't see anywhere on here where I can unmute that. I think it's got to come on muted or something on it. I don't know. But keys about keeping in. I had a key. I had a makeup key. I used Amy Hopkins silicone mold to make a mold of a key. Once I got the mold of the key, I used a quick cure resin to make that key, and there was a couple fails in there. Then it was get these keys all back on. But my biggest mistake was I put that front panel on, and I could not slide the keys underneath that piece of wood because the keys slide underneath the little hammer. And when you press the key down, the hammer goes up and it hits the thing that makes the musical note. So I sat there and I thought, how am I gonna fix this? I can't. I'm gonna have to rip it off. And I would imagine there's probably a nice tool. I probably could have made a nice round uniform mark, but I just took the Dremel and I got the piece off, and that's what you saw sitting on the top was the piece I took off the front to get all the keys back on. And I got the keys all in. They all worked. It played wonderful. I put that front panel back on, and I had to redo the complete front panel just to get it to work. So in the end, this is about what I got for mine with how I felt. So we're going to go to Mara. And
yeah, I agree with Gretchen. You can't even tell.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I was just so distraught over that.
Yeah, that was really, really heartbreaking. I can't imagine
when you're going to upcycle something and turn it into something else, you really never know. And Mara Reed does a lot of things. I'm sure she's run into that a lot, where you just have to try to figure out some way to make it work. Well, Mara's was this little lovely thing. I like it.
Just like that. Yeah, I didn't need to do one thing to it, did I? Oh, except that you can't see it has cigarette burns and scratches on the top. But my coworker gave this to me and said that it belonged to his mother-in-law and they were just done with it. And that was all. And I said, well, do you want it back when I'm done? No, we're done. We're done. So anyway, so this is my before.
Well, you had you were looking at something else, weren't you? That was giving you the direction you wanted to go.
Yeah. So I took an image of a cart. It wasn't that particular cart, but a wooden cart. And then I put that picture and a picture of this, and I just said to ChatGPT, I said, make this use this as an inspiration for a mock-up and make it like a Western theme. And if you get the next picture, this is what I got. That's
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I can't not do that one. So, or attempt to do that one. So
yeah, you had challenges with your little.
Wow. It's like, yeah, it's really good.
And then the top, gorgeous.
The AI.
You were using some mud and stencil to get that design up there on the top.
yes. So while we are looking at all this, and you can just freeze it kind of right there, because I don't think I sent a picture of the stencils, but these are just some of the hurdles that I had to overcome using AI. For the first hurdle was obviously I didn't have a stencil anywhere that looked like the one in the image, right? And so I thought, well, maybe I can get AI to design me a stencil. Well, no, actually, it did not. It couldn't. So I looked through my stencil stuff. I didn't really have anything, in my silhouette program that I thought would work. I tried to, I don't know how to call it pilfer from some online, but I'll call it pilfer from some online. And it just did not. For the people who own Silhouette, they know that they can take a picture of the image, and then if it's clean enough, you can actually pull it off using the butterfly. And I know I've seen Gretchen do this, but I just couldn't find anything I liked. So I ended up buying a flourishes pack off of Etsy, and then I just kind of fit it together to make it look. I mean, these are several pieces of flourish, and then I put it into ChatGPT and I said, make this more concentric, and this is kind of what I got out of it. So,
okay.
I mean, I still had to cut some things and make it fit to the way I liked it, and because I don't know how to explain this, but the way the table was, it kind of flares out a little bit. So I had to adjust the stencil to flare a little bit.
So what kind of a message did the AI give you that it couldn't make a stencil? Like, I'm unable to make that, or
no? So what I did was I took the image that it generated and I fed it back in, and I said, make me a stencil of this, or make this an image that I could use on my silhouette. And it just couldn't pull that image off of its own generated product. I don't know how to explain that, but it just couldn't do it. It came up nothing that I could use on the silhouette. It does have to kind of have clean lines and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was that took a minute. That I spent a lot of time doing that. And then that stupid star, I did a Google search, found a star that I absolutely loved, but it was inappropriate for the silhouette cutter. And when you do stencils, if it's not like a sticky back where you peel it off with the tape and then you put it on, but it has to be like the cut has to be supported inside the frame of the, I don't know how to explain that, but it has to be supported inside where you're cutting. So if it just cut a star, chances are that everything inside that star that it cut would just fall out.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Like it needs to be connected and all of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So if you go back to the previous image, I think you might be able to see it. See how the edge of the star looks like a rope?
yes.
So that kind of just held the interior of that star in. And I can't tell you how many iterations, but for those of you this week that used AI, you know that you can't just say, okay, I like that image, but make it like this, because AI just starts to lose its mind after a while. You just have to stop and just take the best of the best and do it again. I mean, this took me several iterations, and I kept having to explain that this needs to be a supported image, like everything inside has to be supported. And finally, I got this image. And because it was such a struggle, I am starting my own Etsy account with the Borderline Furniture. And
Nice.
so that star will be available as soon as I get it built. And, just because I thought it's so nice. It's such a beautiful,
Yeah. You go, girl.
so
Yeah,
that'll
that's
be
cool.
available. Not as a stencil, but as the SVG.
Right. Where they could buy the image and then do whatever they want with it. Make a
Right.
vinyl image or stencil or whatever.
And
So
then
What happened to the little fringe? You ran into a little problem there.
well, I did. So I was number 2 in line. So I was over at Hobby Lobby, and the lady that was right in front of me had just bought like almost all of the roll of fringe, and I needed what did I need? Like 2 yards of it to make this. And she got it. So I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I may wait a couple of days, but I mean, I'm in almost ready to be done. Anyway, so I reached out to my flipping friends and said, hey, who paints? Who's painted? Have you guys ever used, what did I ask? Fabric softener. And nobody had ever heard of that, which I've seen it on YouTube. Oh yeah, put fabric softener in. Well, I asked ChatGPT after our discussion, and it said, no, don't do that. So anyway, you'll ruin the paint. So my first time painting that fringe, it actually bled through, and I ended up having to just kind of wipe it back on both sides, and it didn't color it enough. So I went with a next darker, and it still bled through. So I wiped it up as much as I could. And then the third time I just spray painted the back of it, and it worked perfect. So yeah.
Yeah. Trial and error.
Yep. So you can see the back side of that is, yeah.
I love that there's a drawer too. That is so cool.
Yep. And for that drawer, that is wood you bend, and then just another different stencil. And that was easy. That stencil was super easy. And I thought, why did I make everything so hard? When I could have just kind of did that. I don't know. Anyway,
Right.
that was an easy stencil. The only
Let's see what
Well,
strike us for a noise here that we're going to give Mara here.
I was to say I have one.
Oh, sure. Got one more thing. Hold on, Doc.
Yeah, so
it was a heartbeat. I don't know if you heard it.
Oh, heartbeat. Okay, is that a?
Oh,
Yeah, and then just the glaze and the stenciling, and I ended up asking again ChatGPT, what order, what should I do, and it definitely had an opinion. So anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
You know, it always has one.
Let me back that up. When I say ChatGPT, I meant to say Copilot. I don't even use ChatGPT anymore. It goes in a circle, and it keeps asking you questions. It won't give you anything, and then it goes, oh, if you want if you want access to this, you can pay some money and join. And
Mm.
and Copilot's so much easier to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use Chat GPT, and I pay $8 a month to use it. If I don't find myself using it, I'm just going to discontinue it. Just like vidIQ is kind of a waste of money.
I just want to say to Gretchen, thank you, Gretchen.
Yes. Sweet.
So we're going to talk about river pour now, and I'm just going to put up some examples if you don't know what that is. You can pour resin on all kinds of things, but this is, your classic river pour table, and this one's pretty cool. I think it looks like lava coming down through.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
Then we have another one that's just, and I think there's some prices on there you can see.
Oh.
Some of these are priced really a lot.
Money.
Some people put lights in that resin and everything else. So, I mean, it's a lot of work. A lot of layers,
Yes.
and resin's not
Oh,
cheap.
that's AI right there.
That's
think
it.
so?
Oh.
How can you tell it's AI? I couldn't.
That's gorgeous with the fish. You think
Yeah.
those are real fish?
Probably not.
I hope not.
They would still rot, wouldn't they? Like decay.
There's a couple on well, they have special resin for flowers, so that might be a question for Lavon because she uses different resin to pour things, and there is special for flowers. If you've not noticed, right now a lot of people are doing this trendy thing where they're I've seen them put tree branches all on the bottom of the floor, and leaves or branches and flowers, big magnolias all over. Then they pour the floor. And I would imagine it's probably pretty costly to do that, but man, does it ever look cool.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I think when we get to the video, the type of resin that Irish Friend is using is this right here. When I'm looking at the video, it looks like this liquid glass.
Yep, that's it.
Which is, I mean, there's a lot of resins out there. You need to look at what the resin is and what it's used for. What do you want to use it for? This one here is for 2 to 4 inches. And there's something in the video where the fella hits on it about your measurements on how deep you're going to pour that, because if you take some type of resin that's not a deep pour resin, and that tells you how many inches you can use, and you use something else and you try to go 4 inches, it's not going to get hard in between there. It's going to stay like liquidy. So you have to make sure you get the right resin for that. And the next one.
Dar, did you see how much that one was? Because I
want to say it was $179.
What? Thought he said it was $300.
One of the more expensive ones.
I thought he said it was $300 a box, and it came with 2, because it's a 2 to 1, and I think it comes with 3 gallons. But it might have been $300 altogether. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could have been. There could have been a bigger volume that you could purchase.
Because he had 2 boxes.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this one is the flower one. No, this is just another deep pour, this brand. And I don't have the price on. This one was a little less expensive than the glass. And then here's the one that is, no, that is not it. Let's try this one. Okay, you see where it says floral epoxy resin? It must have something different in it for a deep pour with clay that'll preserve those flowers. And I think Levon, you've seen a lot of them in that those different types that you are using, where people use that over real flowers. It must have something different in it to preserve that color and
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
integrity of what that flower is. And just 2 more resins and we'll get to that video. This one is the Let's resin. This is a little different. It's a 4-hour cure. I don't know how deep you can pour it, but you can mix their colors that they provide with it and mix it and give yourself some color. And then the very last one is just another Let's resin. This is the one that I've gone to because it's quite cost effective. It's a 10-minute cure, 1-to-1 ratio, and I make a lot of molds with this one.
So that's only, what is it, $40 or is it $59.99?
40.
Hmm.
No, I left
That
it
is
up
a good,
for $40.
that is a good value.
Yeah, so even though it's maybe just a little tad bit more gritty than the other one that you can get in some smaller bottles for smaller resin fixing, I just went to this because I've had it for almost a year and I've almost used it up in a year on the number of molds that I've made. And you guys have seen all the molds I've made in the last year, quite a few of them.
Bye, Bronny. She has to go.
Bye, Bronny. All right. Now, here's the video, and I hope to God it has the voice on it. And I've got it turned up as loud as I can because the guy talks a little bit light, but here we go.
You might turn it down.
Hey everyone, I'm at my coworker's shop where he's building a river table for his office. This custom melamine mold is fully sealed because even a small leak during a resin pour would be disastrous. The bottom is taped to facilitate easy release. Aaron has about 14 hours in prep on the live edge wood. All of the bark has been removed and the knot holes have been cleaned out, even using dental tools to keep the debris from floating up into the resin. The boards are clamped down so that nothing shifts and the mold is perfectly level before the pour. Next, I'll let Aaron explain how he mixes the resin and the cure times, but you may need to turn your volume up a bit to catch it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, and this is going to be somewhat translucent, I'm going to add black pigment. I always use the powder. I don't like the liquid. The liquid tends to bleed into the wood a little bit more. I always use the mica powder. What I'm using here, because we're doing such a deep pour, is I'm using liquid glass and solid. I really like this stuff. This is 2 inches to 4 inches, so this is a deep pour. What that means is that this is a lot more viscous, and it takes a whole lot longer to cure. It generates a lot of heat, but it takes a lot longer to cure because it's going to cure from the inside out, and it's got to be able to harden. If it was a flash hardener or like a thin pour, it hardens a lot faster. But the problem is, with that stuff, with this, it'll harden slower, so therefore it can harden all the way out. If you use that thin stuff, it'll harden too fast, and it won't get like the middle. So you've got it. If you're going to do a deep pour,
It won't get the middle.
you've got to use this stuff.
Because the stuff in the middle won't harden.
Right.
The heat is not generated.
And this stuff will generate a lot of heat. This stuff here will get up to like 130 degrees when it's cured. It generates a lot of heat. But this one here, and you always want to read your labels, but you can actually use this, even though it says 2 to 4 inches, you can use this for as thin of as half inch. And I've used it for a thinner pour before, and I've never had an issue. Like that crack in there, that's not 2 inches, and I've done okay with it. I wouldn't want to do like for a tabletop or bar top, I would never want to do usually this for that. That's not my focus. Okay, so this stuff here. You always want to read your label. You have part A and you got part B. These are really, really easy. 2 to 1. 2 parts A's to 1 part B hardener.
Oh, 2-to-1, okay.
2-to-1 ratio. So that's why I always buy the graduated. Now, if I got a bigger bucket like this, I can take and pour. Takes a lot of stirring, so while you're mixing, go ahead and add your powder. You're just in there stirring for 5 minutes anyway, so go ahead and put your powder in.
I believe there were 3 gallons of resin into this pour, and there's a 14-hour period where the bubbles will continue to rise through the surface. So Erin's going to be periodically checking this throughout the day. The bubbles are burned off using a torch, and I'll have a follow-up video when this is released from the mold. So for those of us that have done small scale furniture molds, this is going to be pretty similar to the process used for that, except that the cure time is going to be much, much longer. This resin here is going to be fluid for, 12 to 14 hours. And I also want you guys to look as you see this, you can possibly see how this has got like a smoky effect underneath. So this is going to be a really cool project once it gets done, and I'll keep you up to date.
Okay, you didn't need to see that little last thing that came up. That was what came up on my phone. Dracula.
Dari,
What?
I need
For that video, we give Mara. So, he's one of them fellas that must be making big bucks on them tables then. They are very expensive. Does he do that a lot and then sell his tables?
I believe he's sold a couple of them. I know that they would be quite expensive, but this one is going to be a desk for his office. So this weekend we're going over Saturday, and he's going to take it out of the mold. And then the next process is running a router. So there's a route. I'll just give you a preview. There's a router sled is what it's called. And the router runs across it, and we'll just run across the table and take that, take those layers down to where it's level. And so that would be like what I'd call part 2. And then part 3 is going to be all of the sanding work down to, what do you say, 10,000 grit sandpaper.
Wow.
He's 10,000 grit?
That's a lot of sanding, man.
Wow.
I didn't even think that was a thing. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I know. That's super fine.
Yes.
Yeah,
It'll be shiny.
Mary's going to go and get the different portions of this video, and we'll play them up here. This was part 1. We'll do part 2, part 3. And try to mention it in the description if you guys are interested in following up on where this table goes. So, we have any questions from anybody out there? Has anybody got any questions?
Well, Gretchen solved her own problem. She said, is this woman from the same place as Mara? Similar accent. Oh, it is Mara. That was narrating the video.
I was confused for a second too, because I thought
because I was gonna say, well, that's a guy, but
I know. I was just like, wait.
She's persistent.
I was like, no, it is Mara's friend, but he's a guy. But yeah, I understand what she meant now. She thought Mara was a different person. But it was Mara the whole time.
yeah.
Oh gosh. I love you.
Same accent, everything.
Yes. Same voice. Mara's
I don't
twin.
think we have any challenges coming up. We get maybe some time to be on our own for a few weeks, eh?
Yeah, we gotta get busy. We gotta come up with some. We've discussed a few things, but we haven't put anything in cement yet.
Yeah. Nothing yet. Nothing.
So if you are watching and you would like to be notified of when we are going to go live, you can send a message to the flippinbunch@gmail.com and just enter the word live, and we will go ahead and our lovely Levon does that for us, and she'll give you a notification. And if you would like to text us, here is the phone number right there. Just enter live and text that to, can I see it? 814-515-4905. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Woo.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Mara. I am just amazed by, what's your friend's name again?
Aaron.
Aaron. I am just amazed at, like, it's gonna look so good. I can't wait to see it finished.
Yeah.
Gretchen did ask if 10K grit is a wet sand, and she's looking forward to additional videos.
Yeah.
I
Me
would say
too.
yes.
Yeah.
Just,
And
just because of doing rocks and stones and jewelry, when you get to that high grit and you want that shine to look like glass, you're wet sanding, in my opinion, probably.
yeah, depending on how long and how much footage we'll get on Saturday when we go, I might go ahead and just film everything that was behind me, which is all of his shop equipment, the way he has everything set up, and his office was what was behind him, and in his office, that was where the table was sitting inside of his office there. So it's all in his workshop that's to the side of his house. So it's a really nice setup. I'm jealous. I keep telling him when I grow up, I want a workshop just like this.
Oh.
When you grow up. I love it.
So how
Gretchen
many
wants to know when you announce the winner and when's the next challenge.
Oh, well, we shall see.
Is-
We don't know yet.
Aren't we waiting for
Yeah, I if Gretchen thinks she can get her video done and her piece done this week, we'll wait. But if not, I guess we can probably announce that here in a couple of days.
Saturday, I figured. Usually,
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, probably.
and then it's up to the Crafty Creech and the winner to determine when the next challenge is going to be.
so much pressure?
And what the theme is. Thank you, Gretchen.
You guys did bring up another challenge though. Roy Cycle is having a challenge, and they have one for professionals and one for hobbyists, and it can be in the home decor, furniture, and then somebody help me out. There's a third category.
Oh,
Mixed media.
yeah, I was just about to say that, mixed media. Mhm.
Yeah. So, but the catch is that it has to be the Roy Cycle paper, and I think that the challenge started. It's from the 14th of February to the 28th. So if you didn't already have Roy Cycle paper, it may not have time to get it and get your project enter. But if you had some, or you had a project, you could enter it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that myself. But yeah, if you want more information on that one, go to Roy Cycled, probably her Facebook page. I think that's where it is. It's on her Facebook page.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that one, there's like you win some prizes if you win or whatever. So that one would be a good one. But that's not YouTube related or anything. That's just you complete a piece using the Roy Cycled paper, and then you submit it through her website and enter that way and all of that. So,
And you can enter in 2 categories, and it's just 3 pictures is all.
mm-hmm.
So I entered my coffee table with the Roy Cycle paper in it.
Ooh,
cool.
good.
It
Awesome.
was a long time ago that I did this one. So
Good luck.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Gretchen, don't feel like put out or bad or whatever, just take that piece that you were working on and wait to enter it into a different challenge. That's all.
There you go.
We do that all the time. If we make something like, oh yeah, that'll fit that challenge. Fit that challenge. Well, this time it really didn't fit into this challenge for love or whatever, but I did try some AI stuff. So we have made it an hour. Does anybody else have anything left on their mind they would like to share?
I don't think so.
My mind is empty.
I was thinking that. I swear, I almost said it, but you said it first. Oh God.
Thank you, Gretchen. Thank you.
So
Wishing you good luck.
we don't have anything, I am going to say good night, ladies.
All
you
right.
guys next
I'm glad you're
time.
really not going to sing the rest of it.
I don't know the rest of it.
I don't even know
All
what
right.
this song
See you
is.
next week,
Thanks for
everybody.
watching. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.